Hey there, it's Ashley from The Loopy Lamb, and today we are going to be checking out this Stroll Gradient yarn from Knit Picks and We Crochet. So I have 4 different colorways here, and you can see that there are some really great color variations happening in these yarns. So if you like something that's maybe like a little more subtle, more everyday kind of wear, then they've got this color here, which is called Pet Rock. And I should mention, they have awesome names for these yarns. This one is my favorite. It's called Campervan. I have a toddler, so she watches Peppa Pig, and every time I hear the name of this one, I think of the song in the Peppa Pig show where they talk about going on holiday on a campervan. So I think it just kind of makes me chuckle. This one up here in the top left with the bright colors is called FOMO Gradient, which is fear of missing out. And then we've got this one here in the nice pinks, which is called BFF, so Best Friends Forever. There are 18 different colorways on the We Crochet website that I'm taking a look at now. And some of the colors names are just fun, like Dazzle Pants and Multiverse, Penny Candy, See You Later, SEA, like see you later because it's watercolors. So I just really enjoyed that part of the yarn. And so I don't know, it just gives another element to ordering your yarn, right? It's just kind of like, oh, I kind of like that name. It's kind of funny. I know it's kind of silly, but it's something that I enjoy. So anyways, back to the yarn. So this yarn is a fingering weight yarn. It's graded as a size 1, and it's great for your socks, right? So if you haven't knit or crochet socks before, this would be the yarn that I'd recommend checking out for your first socks if you're wanting to go straight to the fingering weight yarns for socks. And this is a 100 gram cake, and there are 458 yards to a hank. This is a blend of 75% fine superwash merino wool and 25% nylon. That nylon is going to give that a little bit of strength, and it's going to help soften it as well. And so this is a really great blend for if you're into sock making. These would also be really gorgeous shawls. And on the We Crochet website, I've noticed that they have Stroll yarn, so the same yarn but in solids. So if you really wanted, like I like to take gradient yarns apart and match them with solid colors to kind of just stretch those colors out. That is an option for you. So the care for this yarn, because it is a superwash wool, it is machine washable. You can throw it in the dryer. Again, great if you're wanting to make socks, because who really wants to put in a ton of extra care for a pair of socks, really? For your swatch, you're looking at 21 to 32 single crochets and a 4-inch swatch made with B2E hooks. And for all you knitters out there, it is 7 to 8 stitches in a 1-inch swatch for if you're using size 1 to 3 needles. So lots of different options available for colors in this, and I just really love how fun these colors are, right? I haven't made my first pair of socks yet, but I am really tempted to do so with this colorway, because I don't know, just something about it just speaks to me and I really enjoy it. So as usual, we are going to swatch these up and see how they work up. I've got 4, so I don't think I'll do all 4, but I'll at least do 2 of them, and I'll come back to you and we'll talk about the swatch and what it was like to work with this yarn. Okay, I am back with my Stroll Gradient swatches here. And I decided to pick 2 of the colorways that I had to do swatches on for this week. And I couldn't resist this Campervan. Had to try that one. And then I also picked this one called BFF. My daughter was with me and she absolutely insisted on having the pink. So that's why that one got picked this week. So as I do with my normal swatches, I have the basic stitches here in the Campervan swatch. I've got these rows of single crochet, half double, followed by double. And I can see now that I missed my turning chain there. But I was in a bit of a hurry. So anyways, we've got our double crochets here. And then up at the top, I did some basic Tunisian simple stitch up at the top. The hook I used was this 3.5 Furls Odyssey hook, and I had to pin the swatch down because I'll take this one out. You can see 3.5 is one of the suggested sizes for this yarn, and it just is eye crochet type, but it just kind of rolls up. So the yarn is very soft. This yarn is, when you look at the Knit Picks or the We Crochet site, it is recommended for socks, and I imagine that these would be incredibly soft, wonderful socks. It might take you a while, but they would be quite lovely. As you can see, there is some color variations throughout the swatch to create some interest and dimension, which is really pretty. In the single, you can see that they're not as spread out, the color changes, until you get up into the bigger, higher stitches. Then you start seeing more spreading. The swatch on my left here of the BFF colorway, I did completely in Tunisian. I decided to do some knit stitch because I'm really loving doing that stitch right now. And then I did some pearl rows by Tunisian knit stitch row. So kind of like a Tunisian garter stitch up at the top. So the yarn is considerably thinner than the other fingering weight yarn I just reviewed. The Muse hand paint fingering weight yarn it does feel, at least when you're crocheting, it feels thinner. It is a lovely yarn. There was a little bit of splitting, but nothing crazy. Nothing that would say I'm ditching this yarn and getting rid of it. But I actually want to make a pair of socks in this Campervan colorway. And if I choose my pattern correctly, I feel like I could probably get a whole pair of socks from just one of these little cakes. And I don't know what it is about this colorway, but I'm obsessed with it. I absolutely love it. And I've never crocheted socks before with fingering weight yarn, so I'm excited to give it a shot. So if you are interested in checking this yarn out, I will link to that in the description box below. And if you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear from you. If you could leave those in the comment section below, I'll love to read them and get back to you as soon as I can. If you have any suggestions for what you'd like to see made with this yarn, please hit me up in the comment section below as well. As always, I love to hear from you, and I take your suggestions seriously and try to implement as many as possible. If you like free crochet patterns, please check out my blog, theloopylamb.com. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks so much for watching, friends. Happy hooking, and I'll see you next time.